Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring Land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer! Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things.
All right, Boring Land. How are you doing at Boring Reviews? Nick here.
Gabe.
And as Gabe is trying to recover from me throwing that Boring Land at him unexpected, I'm here to tell you that we have another Patreon request for you. We love our Patreon so much, not just because they support Boring Reviews, but because they go out of their way to give us their requests and tell us the kind messages they have for us. We really appreciate it. And sometimes the constructive criticism in a loving way. We really appreciate that. So we're checking out another request. Right into it. I'm getting right to it. This is from Bilal, and he wants us to check out the trailer for the documentary, called The Edge. It's a cricket documentary, and that's pretty much all I know about it. Gabe, have you heard about this documentary?
I have heard about The Edge. I think it's on Amazon because I'm pretty sure it's like comes up as one of my recommended to watch or whatnot, but I haven't actually had an opportunity to watch it. But yeah, I'm super excited to check it out. I have access to it, so that's always a good thing. But we're loving cricket, and it meshes both things, both the worlds we love, film and cricket. Okay, because again, you know, sports movies we've mentioned before are some of our favorite movies. I know we both have Rocky in our top 10 films of all time. You know what I mean? And that's, again, a sports movie. We recently did, well, not recently, it's been a while now, but we did the video on Fire in Babylon, getting to learn about my West Indies squad, you know what I mean? The Four Horsemen. And definitely, I love when you get to get that behind the scenes a view of what goes on and what these athletes go through. So I'm super excited to check this out.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I have not seen it on my suggested list, so I've got to contact Amazon Prime and figure out what's going on. They're obviously a Night Watchman fan, but I've noticed recently that on Amazon, at least today, I was watching some Amazon. There was some commercials on there, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Hopefully, that doesn't start a trend on there because Amazon Prime is so nice without having to have the commercials. But with that out of the way, I'm trying to derail us. I'll stop myself right now. Let's go ahead and check this out in 3. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. In 2, 1, go. It's a swimming video.
Forget what you think you know. Test cricket is a battle between time and the mind.
I've got a problem with the way you practice, the amount you're drinking.
Things needed to change. We needed a plan.
Is that Jimmy Anderson?
The target, to be the first England team to reach #1 in the world. It's an unbelievably challenging game.
We were a structured winning machine.
Yeah, my boy Broad.
Boy.
Playing for England is the ultimate. But it becomes a bit like a drug.
The toughest thing about playing Test cricket is the psychological trauma.
You've only got to take your eye off the ball for a split second, and the first chip happens.
We weren't aware of what your teammates are going through. I did isolate myself.
Crying in a dressing room. Everything just seemed to come tumbling down.
It became a life or death situation.
When you find the edge, you hear the noise.
What a shot! We want to be the best England team ever.
Let's go and enjoy it. Let's go have the time of our lives.
We're gonna tear away!
He genuinely hated me. It was actually quite funny.
As he picked it up and had a little sticker, Lord Shop, £4.95. I was absolutely devastated.
Oh my goodness.
How much would you give to be the best?
Making a movie!
Don't blink first.
Wow, that actually looks really, really good. And I hate to use the word actually. Most trailers look really good. That looks, I forgot it was about England. Someone had told me about this actually. I forgot it was about England. And we had just finished, we finished a whole lot of live cricket streams with England being involved, test team and ODI team. So it's nice that we recognize some of those faces. Some of those faces are no longer on the squad, at least that we've seen so far. We've heard a lot about Kevin Peterson. They were talking about in the live stream last time. We've heard a lot about Alistair Cook, but I'm super excited to check that out. I love a good redemption story. From what it sounded like in the trailer there, they couldn't fall any lower. They were trying to get to number one. We know what happened in 2019, so I'm wondering if that's going to be involved in some way. But wow, that looks really good.
Yeah, notice some different faces there. No Ben Stokes, obviously. So this must be prior to his era, because this was the test team, right? We also didn't see Joe Root there. And I'm like, okay, and maybe they just, showed us a few people, but we did get to see Jimmy Anderson, you know what I'm saying? Sir Jimmy Anderson. We got to see our boy Stuart Broad. And I will say, they definitely look like a fun bunch of guys, you know what I mean? But I think the metaphor of seeing in the beginning and at the end, the cricket player basically in water is that they're being suffocated by it. You know what I'm saying? You're drowning in it, because it does become overwhelming. Again, I mentioned on this channel, I'm a Yankees fan, and it's one thing to play professional sports, but it's one thing when you're the biggest thing in that professional sport. And the Yankees, but bottom line, are the biggest thing in baseball. And players can't handle that kind of pressure. They just can't, you know what I mean? Sonny Gray, who I love, and I've always, since college, I've watched this guy pitch. He came to New York and was an absolute disaster. Okay, he was in Oakland. He almost won a Cy Young. Now he's in Cincinnati again, pitching like a boss. And he's, to his credit, he's on a podcast with and online sometimes they go with Trevor Bauer, who's one of my favorite baseball players. The guy's just a nut. Shout out to you, Trevor. Why, if you want to see a baseball player that's a nut, Trevor Bauer's a nut. I love him. But he just said, man, it's so overwhelming, everything. You can't go out and get something to eat without somebody snapping a picture of you, and well, maybe that's why he's out of shape. He had a corn dog. Yeah, I got blown up for 6 runs because I ate a corn dog. Well, come on. And that's the kind of pressure these guys are. If that's just baseball, could you imagine if you are on the national cricket test team, the kind of pressure that you're under? I can only imagine it would be enough to drown anybody, to suffocate anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was really impressed with whoever it was. I'm not sure who it was, who was man enough to admit in the trailer and in the documentary that he's crying in the locker room. I mean, for any guy, machismo is a big part of who we are, what we are made up. And I'm comfortable now admitting when I cry at movies or this or that. But if I'm feeling vulnerable, that's hard for me to admit to my man Gabe, I was crying last night because this or that. Not that it happens a whole lot. There's that machismo again. But super impressed that guy is willing to admit to that, because that shows you your passion. That shows you your commitment to it. When you cried, everyone's cried. I don't care who you are. Everyone's cried. When you cry because you're sad, I mean, that's something's really, really affecting you. And it's tough. I mean, for me, the few times I have when it's not because of a movie, because I do get a little emotional in movies, or if it's not at church because, I'm feeling so happy or so rejoicing or whatever, it's because I feel super guilty about something. And it's just one of those things where you're just like, I can't take this anymore. So your metaphor of the ocean and noticing that was spot on. I love how they also did the play on words with edge. We know edging is just the part of the bat where it could get you out, just a little part of that bat. And also being on the edge of your breaking point. So I'm just super excited about this. If we do check this out, our review will be on Cricket for Americans. That's our cricket channel. Our reaction is here on Boring Reviews, because this is a movie, documentary, TV show, trailer reaction channel. But super excited. Look out for that if we get to it, which we probably will be eventually.
Absolutely. But you say eventually because we have a lot of other stuff on the back burner we're working on right now. It's a good problem to have. Good problem to have. You know what I'm saying? We got plenty of content to go through. We're currently checking out. It's for the Mumbai Indians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Nick's way ahead of me. Cricket Fever. Nick's way ahead of me. I'm the one that's slacking there, but that's going to be coming first. But guys, If you haven't already done so, please, if you watch this video, click that, smash that subscribe button. Okay, give us that like. It does help out the channel. Once again, we really, really appreciate it. And until next time,
That's 6 runs.